The willow by the creek was where we carved our names into the bark. I go there every summer still to check if the names survive the dark. The bark has grown around the letters now, the way skin grows around a scar. The tree absorbed what we put into it and made it part of what they are. Willowscar memory, willowscar name, the tree keeps growing all the same. Willowscar morning, willowscar night, names inside the wood and out of sight. I put my hand on the bark and I feel everything that time can't fully heal. Willowscar memory carved in deep. Willowscar is the name I keep. You've been gone 11 years this August. I keep the counting without thinking now. Grief becomes arithmetic eventually, the when and where and how. The willow doesn't know you're gone from here. The willow doesn't track the years. It just grows around the scar and keeps on going the way a river clears. Willowscar memory, willowscar name, the tree keeps growing all the same. Willowscar morning, willowscar night, names inside the wood and out of sight. I put my hand on the bark and I feel everything that time can't fully heal. Willowscar memory carved in deep. Willowscar is the name I keep. My daughter found the willow last September. She put her hand where I always put mine. She didn't ask me whose name was inside. She just stood there a long time. Some things a child knows without the asking. Some griefs they inherit whole. I watched her hand on the bark and I understood. The willow holds our whole family soul. Never told my mother what I did that summer in the nettle field. I was 17 and someone else, and I never fully healed. The man who asked me didn't ask me right. I didn't have the words to say. The nettle field is houses now in rows, but I remember every blade of gray. Nettle confession, nettle shame. Nettle grows back wild and fast the same. You can build your houses on the field, but the nettle underneath won't yield. Nettle confession, nettle scar. You are still exactly what you are. I'll speak it to the ground, if not to God. Nettle confession, blood and mud and sod. My daughter found me crying in the yard last summer by the garden wall. She asked me what was wrong, and I almost let the whole confession fall. I swallowed it back down like iron water, like I always learned to do. There are things you keep to keep the ones you love from knowing what you've been through. Nettle confession, nettle shame. Nettle grows back wild and fast the same. You can build your houses on the field, but the nettle underneath won't yield. Nettle confession, nettle scar. You are still exactly what you are. I'll speak it to the ground, if not to God. Nettle confession, blood and mud and sod. I'm old enough now to understand that silence is its own kind of sin, that the things we bury in the nettle field keep growing from within. So I'll stand at the edge of what I was and say the name of what occurred. Maybe the nettle field will hear me finally and let me go on, just my word.
We were born on the dirt roads between the mountains, where the pavement gave up and the gravel began. We grew up on the songs that our grandparents carried from countries that no longer held the same land. We learned that the dark is just part of the singing. We learned that the wound is part of the song. We learned that the ones who are gone aren't gone fully. We carry the dead as we carry along. Dirt road song for the living and dead. Dirt road song for the words left unsaid. Dirt road songs rising up from the clay. Dirt road songs at the end of the day. Sing it low, sing it long, sing it into the ground. Sing it for everyone lost and not found. Dirt road songs in the throat and the chest. Dirt road songs for the ones who need a rest. We have worked in the fields and the mines and the kitchens. We have worked in the cold and the heat and the dark. We have buried our children and buried our parents, and buried the things that were closest to heart. We didn't choose beauty, we found it in hardship. We didn't choose song, song chose us instead. The dirt road song is the sound of a people who sang because silence would leave them for dead. Dirt road songs for the living and dead. Dirt road songs for the words left unsaid. Dirt road songs rising up from the clay. Dirt road songs at the end of the day. Sing it low, sing it long, sing it into the ground. Sing it for everyone lost and not found. Dirt road songs in the throat and the chest. Dirt road songs for the ones who need a rest. Now we stand at the edge of an unfamiliar country, where the old songs are fading and nobody's sure whether the singing is worth what the singing costs, whether the old words still open the door. But I'll sing till the dirt road is swallowed by concrete. I'll sing till the last gravel stone is covered in black. I'll sing for the ones who came before and carried. I'll sing to bring something of all of them back. October, when the soil is ready and the light is done, we bring what we have grown and what has rotted. We bring it all beneath the dying sun.
The night soil is the richest of the offerings.
What we return to, what we took.
The land remembers every year we fed it,
every harvest in the book.
Night soil hymn, night soil give.
Feed the ground so the ground lets you live.
Night soil hymn, night soil prayer.
Return to the dark what the dark put there.
Night soil sacred.
the darkness in the night.
What you give the earth, it gives you back.
Night soil hymn,
night soil black. Said the old one sang this
while they turned the compost in the fall.
She said the song keeps the ground from grieving
when the harvest takes the last of all.
She said a field that's never sung to properly
goes cold inside eventually.
She sang to every rose she ever planted.
She sang it all by memory.
Night soil hymn, night soil give.
Feed the ground so the ground lets you live.
Night soil hymn, night soil prayer.
Return to the dark what the dark put there.
Night soil sacred, night soil right.
Darkness feeds the darkness in the night.
What you give the earth, it gives you back.
Night soil hymn,
soil black.
We leave the offerings in the turned earth there.
We walk back to the lanterns of the village,
and we don't look back and we don't stare.
Because the old one said the ground needs privacy
to do what the ground does at night.
To take the offerings down into the darkness
and turn the dying into light.
The bleak marsh stretches to the edge of seeing, where the sky and the ground become one. No tree grows out there and no bird lands under the winter sun. My father walked into the bleak marsh once on a January afternoon. He said he needed to be where nothing grew. He came back by the moon. Bleak marsh lament, bleak marsh cold. Bleak marsh is what you go to when you fall. Bleak marsh cold, bleak marsh wide. Bleak marsh is where the grief goes to hide. Bleak marsh lament, bleak marsh gray. I walk out to the bleak marsh today. Let the nothing hold me for a while. Let the bleak marsh walk me the last mile. find a ringing without bells, a vibration in the frozen ground itself that the winter marsh exhales. My mother said it was the bones of things that died there long ago, still resonating through the frozen peat, in a key only the dead know. Bleak marsh lament, bleak marsh call, bleak marsh is what you go to when you fall. Bleak marsh cold, bleak marsh wide, bleak marsh is where the grief goes to hide. Bleak marsh lament, bleak marsh gray, I'll walk out to the bleak marsh today. Let the nothing hold me for a while, let the bleak marsh walk me the last mile. Where the marsh grass ends and I breathe out what I can translate. The bleak marsh takes it without judgment, without offering anything back. Sometimes the best a landscape offers is just its cold and absolute black.
Called him a saint when he healed the Watkins girl who'd been sick since she was 3. He laid his hands on her at the river bend and she walked home clear and free. I knew him when he was just a man, before the stories made him glass. I knew the things he did in his own darkness. I watched the ember years go past. Emberglass saint, emberglass glow. Emberglass is what you make of what you know. Half the fire and half the shine, half the darkness claiming to be divine. Emberglass saints, emberglass clear, showing what the people need to hear. I won't call you liar, I won't call you true. Emberglass saint, I just knew you. He came to me one winter and confessed without the costume of his name. He sat at my table and he wept a long time. He told me everything that he became. He said the Watkins girl had been improving 3 days before he touched her side. He just arrived at the right moment, wept. He said he couldn't hold the tide. Emberglass saint, emberglass glow. Emberglass is what you make of what you know. Half the fire and half the shine, half the darkness claiming to be divine. Emberglass saint, emberglass clear, showing what the people need to hear. I won't call you liar, I won't call you true. Emberglass saint, I just knew you. Died in March, the whole county mourned. They put his likeness in the church. I sat in the back pew at the funeral and watched them worship from my perch. The saint they loved was partly true and partly the story that the story needs. All saints are made of emberglass and darkness. All saints begin as seeds. Mudcrow sits on the old levee fence and watches the water go by. He's been there every morning for 30 years, at least that long by my eye. My father called it a bad omen bird, said it shows up when someone will drown. He said the mudcrow watched the levee break in '65 and watched the whole third ward go down. Mudcrow ballad, mudcrow eye, watching everything before it dies. Mudcrow perched on the sorrow fence, watching since before it all made sense. Mudcrow ballad, mudcrow wing, black against the sun, announcing everything. It never cries and it never calls, it just watches from the levee wall. I've seen it on the morning a child was lost. I've seen it the day the mill closed down. I've seen it sitting on my own front gate the morning I nearly left this town. I walked out to it with my packed up bags. It looked at me and didn't move. I put my bags back in the hall that day. I don't know what I had to prove. Mudcrow ballad, mudcrow eye, watching everything before it dies. Mudcrow perched on the sorrow fence, watching since before it all made sense. Mudcrow ballad, mudcrow wing, black against the sun, announcing everything. It never cries and it never calls, it just watches from the levee wall. Last spring I found the mudcrow on the ground beneath the levee fence at dawn, lying still with its wings spread perfect wide, like it knew how to be gone. I buried it beside the water's edge, marked the spot with a piece of white stone. Since then the levee's been quiet in the mornings, and I've been more alone.
She wore her mother's dress on the wedding day, a dress the color of old snow. The groom stood waiting at the altar rails with a smile that the guests didn't know. It was the smile of a man who owns a thing, not the smile of a man in love. She walked the aisle and she knew the difference, and she knew what it would come to show. Cindervow bride, cindervow flame, burning is the end of every name. She took the ring and she made the vow, but she planned the ending from the now. Cindervow bride, cindervow ash, love that owns you has to burn to ash. She smiled through the whole ceremony long. Cindervow bride, no one heard her song. They say the fire started in the parlor around about 2:30. The groom was found against the garden wall in his boots without a shoe. She was gone before the rooster crowed, her mother's dress on the garden gate. The sheriff said he'd never seen such a thing, but he didn't search too late. Cindervow bride, cindervow flame, burning is the end of every name. She took the ring and she made the vow, but she planned the ending from the now. Cindervow bride, cindervow ash, love that owns you has to burn to ash. She smiled through the whole ceremony long. Cindervow bride, no one heard her song. Have passed and the house is gone, just a scar where the foundation stands. They say she's seen in town some market days, an old woman with calloused hands. She never married again and never spoke of the husband or the dress. She tends a garden and she hums a tune that the neighbors can't quite guess.
dug a hole behind the churchyard wall where the preacher never looks. I buried every promise that I made, every lie inside my books. The soil took my name without a word. The worms don't ask you why. A man can disappear into the ground just as easy as he'll die. Hollow graves, hollow ground, hollow is the only thing I found. God don't answer out here in the dark, just a silence where there used to be a heart. Hollow grace, hollow road, I've been carrying a man I don't know, walking through this life like borrowed time. Hollow grace was never mine. My mother kept a photo on the wall of a man I used to be. She dusted off on Sunday after church like she still believed in me. I called her once in October rain. She didn't pick the phone. Some people keep the dead alive, some just keep alone. Hollow grace, hollow ground, hollow is the only thing I found. God don't answer out here in the dark, just the silence where there used to be a heart. Hollow grace, hollow road, I've been carrying a man I don't know, walking through this life like borrowed time. Hollow grace was never mine. The winter came and took the last old oak that stood beside the fence. I didn't mourn it long, I recognized the way that dying went. Now I sit out on the rotten porch and watch the field go gray, wondering if the hole I've dug back there is wide enough someday.
my line were made from ironbark. They bent but never broke. They raised the children through the famines and the wars, through every grief that came in smoke. They never asked for softness or for mercy. They asked for what they'd earned. They put their hands in everything that burned and came out rough and stern. Ironbark testament, ironbark line. Women made of harder things than wine. Ironbark mother, ironbark hand. Ironbark is how you take a stand. Ironbark testament running through my blood. Women who are barefoot through the mud. I carry every one of them in me. Ironbark testament, I'm free. Crossed the water in the winter with 4 children and 30 pounds. She said she never looked back at the shore. She only looked at where she was bound. She built her life in an unfamiliar country with her ironbark spine and her name. She never spoke of what she left behind, but I know all the same. Ironbark testament, ironbark line. Women made of harder things than wine. Ironbark mother, ironbark hand. Ironbark is how you take a stand. Ironbark testament running through my blood. Women who walk barefoot through the mud. I carry every one of them in me. Ironbark testament, I'm free. Of the line with the old name. The daughters took their husbands' names and went, but the ironbark lives in me regardless, no matter where the family was sent. I say their names before I go to sleep. I say them like a prayer or a sword. Every woman who survived to give me life, every woman who endured. The river came up in the night last spring, took everything up to the sill. It left behind a coat of silver mud and a silence deep and still. My daughter played beside that river bank from the day that she could walk. Now the river plays her music back to me on the reeds when the night birds talk. Siltwater, siltwater, carry her name down to the sea where all rivers came. Siltwater, hold what I couldn't hold. Siltwater, keep her from the cold. Siltwater, siltwater, sing to me the lullaby she used to ask of me. I stand at the bank and I'll call to the deep. Siltwater, give her back her sleep. The fishermen say that on Midsummer's Eve a girl walks out on a stone. Her dress is the color of a river clay, and she never walks walks alone. They say she leads the young ones in who follow her glowing light. I know my daughter's face in any dark, I know her voice any night. Siltwater, Siltwater, carry her name down to the sea where all rivers came. Siltwater, hold what I couldn't hold. Siltwater, keep her from the cold. Siltwater, Siltwater, sing to me the lullaby she used to ask of me. I'll stand at the bank and I'll call to the deep. Siltwater, give her back her sleep. Beside this river 40 years, I know its moods like my own blood. I know it takes without apology and gives back only mud. But every night I set a lantern out upon the old stone wall, just in case my daughter finds her way and needs a light to follow home with all. Preacher came through in August with a tent full of heat and lights. He laid his hands on every willing sinner and he looked at them with copper eyes. He took the offerings and he healed the lame, or said the lame were healed. By morning he was 3 towns down the road and the lame were in the field. Coppermouth gospel, coppermouth word, sweetest poison you ever heard. Coppermouth preacher, coppermouth grace, salvation with a coppermouth face. He'll take your money and he'll take your faith. He'll leave you standing in an empty space. Coppermouth gospel going down smooth till you realize you've been made a fool. My aunt believed him when he said her cancer was washed in the blood of the Lord. She gave him every dollar she had saved and thanked him for his word. The doctor said come back in every month, but she put faith over medicine. By October she was gone and the preacher was in another state again. Coppermouth gospel, coppermouth word, sweetest poison you ever heard. Coppermouth preacher, coppermouth grace, salvation with a coppermouth face. He'll take your money and he'll take your faith. He'll leave you standing in an empty space. Coppermouth gospel going down smooth till you realize you've been made a fool.
Tennessee. I sat in the back of his tent. I watched him work the crowd like a craftsman works, like he always knew where the money went. I stood up when he called for the offering plate, and I said what I had to say. The tent was quiet as a grave all through it. Then he smiled and looked away. Fast on a fresh-turned grave, faster than mercy grows in a man. I've watched it cover the ones I've known since the grief inside me began. The grave digger whistles while he works. He's made his peace with the dead. He says the moss don't care who you were, it just grows on what it's fed. Mossgrave, mossgrave, cover me green, cover what I was and all I have been. Mossgrave, mossgrave, grow thick and slow, let no one remember what's buried below. Mossgrave, mossgrave, hold what I gave, let the living keep moving past my grave. Mossgrave, take me into the stone. Mossgrave, I'm ready to go home. His own grave out behind his father's field. He measured it twice with a piece of old rope and then covered it and healed. He lived another 30 years after that. They say he slept soundly each night. Said there's peace in knowing where you're going. Said it settled something right. Mossgrave, mossgrave, cover me green, cover what I was and all I have been. Mossgrave, mossgrave, grow thick and slow, let no one remember what's buried below. Mossgrave, mossgrave, hold what I gave, let the living keep moving past my grave. Mossgrave, take me into the stone. Mossgrave, I'm ready to go home. There are graves in this churchyard with no names, just a number carved in stone. The ones who had no one to write their name, the ones who died alone. I come here on the dark of the moon, and I speak to each unnamed one. I tell them someone knows they were alive before the moss came and was done. bell in the hollow rings itself at midnight, has done since the flood of 1809. When the bell ringer's family went under, and the water rose past the steeple line.
Nobody touches the rope in the tower. The rope hangs coiled and still, but every midnight the bell in the hollow rings out across the hill.
Dead bell hollow,
Dead bell ring,
ringing for the ones who couldn't swim. Dead bell hollow,
count the toll.
one ring for every borrowed soul. Dead bell hollow,
Listen close,
the bell remembers every ghost.
it counts them out in the midnight air.
Dead bell hollow,
We're all there.
the parish priest tried to silence the bell,
Cut the clapper out in the fall,
but the bell rang louder than it had before.
without the clapper there at all. He packed his cassock and he left by dawn.
Said the hollow was older than God.
The new priest never spoke about the bell, and we never thought it odd.
Dead bell hollow,
Dead bell ring,
ringing for the ones who couldn't swim. Dead bell hollow,
count the toll.
one ring for every borrowed soul.
Dead bell hollow, listen close,
the bell remembers every ghost.
it counts them out in the midnight air.
Dead bell hollow,
We're all there.
my grandmother was born the year of the flood.
She said she always slept right through.
Said the bell was just the hollow breathing.
Said she was family of the drowned too.
I lie awake and count the rings at midnight.
Try to put a name to each. 12 rings in the hollow every midnight,
For the ones who
stayed just out of reach.